even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
We all belong outside. We're drawn to nature, whether it's the recorded sounds of the ocean we doze off to, or the succulents that adorn our homes. Nature makes all of our lives, well, better. Despite all this, we often go about our busy lives removed from it. But the outdoors is closer than we realize. With AllTrails, you can discover trails nearby and explore confidently. With offline maps and on-trail navigation, download the free app today and make the most of your summer with AllTrails.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards payback and unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with MGM Northfield Park.
You know that voice, the one that says, not today, next week. It's probably nothing. It's very convincing, reasonable, calm, always has a plan that involves doing this later, much later. And then there's the other voice, quieter, harder to hear, the one that says, just take care of it. That's the one to listen to, because when you show up for yourself, you break through. Confidence unleashed. Find a dentist near you at smilegeneration.com/confidence.
WBBM Chicago and WCFS-FM at HD1 Elmwood Park, Chicago.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's 8:58, traffic and weather together on the 8th. Here's Brian Peck.
Looking pretty good in northwest Indiana. Just had some debris, though, on 8094 westbound. Slow passing Kennedy Avenue. Looks like they just picked that up. Now it's moving much better. Eastbound's doing fine. On the Edens, outbound, you're looking slow from Peterson to Willow Road. Midday road work there on the right shoulder. 15 minutes coming in. You're 25 minutes going out. On the Kennedy, a little bit slow from the Edens Junction to the Hubbard Street Tunnel. You're 32 minutes coming in from O'Hare, 26 minutes in from the Edens Junction. Pretty much the same in the express lane, so take your pick. 18 minutes going out to Montrose, 34 out to O'Hare. I-190 eastbound, westbound, looking pretty good. The Eisenhower, 50-minute trip in from the Jane Addams, 32 in from Manheim, 24 minutes back out to Manheim. The Stevenson, 45 minutes in from I-355, 34 in from the Tri-State, 24 minutes out to the Tri-State. The Dan Ryan, 25 minutes in from the Merge, 2 minutes faster in the Express, 12 minutes out to the Split. I-57 moving well. The Bishop Ford, 15 minutes in, 13 minutes going out. DuSable Lakeshore Drive doing okay. Tri-State and the tollways, nothing out of the ordinary. Route 53 heavy through the work zone. I-80s moving well. Next traffic, 908. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We have sunshine in Chicagoland. Most of the rain is out of here, and we'll all get some more sun as we head to a high of 75 degrees. We'll basically be in the 70s throughout the week. Right now, we have 65 at O'Hare, 66 downtown.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
This is Nancy Hardy in Uptown, where Chicago police shoot a man suspected of killing another man.
A Catholic school in Evergreen Park is going to be shutting down in the fall because of falling enrollment.
Iran's top diplomat says the tentative deal to end the conflict between the U.S. and Iran requires that Israel withdraw from Lebanon. ABC News will have the details.
WBBM Business, we have a mixed start to the trading day. The Dow up 237, NASDAQ up 47, and the S&P just down 2 points. Sunshine now that the rain is just about all out of here. A high of 75 degrees. We're at 65 at O'Hare. It's now 66 downtown at 9 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Iran's top diplomat insists that the tentative deal to end the war with the United States would require Israel to withdraw from Lebanon, a condition Israel has rejected. As we await details on the plan itself, ABC's Rachel Scott has more on the back and forth.
Iran's foreign minister saying ending the war cannot happen unless Israeli forces leave Lebanon. The president making it clear he's not happy with Israel.
They should have been able to do the job faster. It just goes on forever. And when that happens, it throws a negative light on the big deal, and that's the deal with Iran.
Senior administration officials say the deal broadly reopens the Strait of Hormuz and lifts the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports.
The president at the G7 summit in the French Alps. Today he will meet with Ukrainian President Zelensky. He's already done that and says Friday he'll meet with Russia's Vladimir Putin. Back in Washington, the FBI says it foiled a plot to attack the UFC fight at the White House Sunday night using drones and explosives.
FBI Director Kash Patel, in a statement released to ABC News, said, on June 10th, FBI and our law enforcement partners became aware of a potential threat to the UFC 250 event in Washington, D.C., involving individuals outside the national capital region. The investigation so far involves individuals in Ohio, Missouri, California, and Nebraska.
ABC's Pierre Thomas. More signs of a slumping housing market. ABC's Jim Ryan has the numbers on permits for building homes.
After a steep decline in April, the consensus was for at least a slight rebound in housing starts in May. Instead, the figure fell by another 15% to 1.17 million units. Looking ahead, housing starts might not rise in June either. 10,000 fewer building permits were issued last month compared to the month before.
Economists say even though there's a tentative deal to end the Iran war, prices for gas, food, clothing, and plane tickets could still be a while coming down. You're listening to ABC News.
As the CEO of my home,
hey, Mom,
running a household means knowing who to call. For power, you call an electrician. Pipes, a plumber. And for better water, you call Culligan. They've been improving water for 90 years, with local experts handling everything from water softening to filtration with the world's most efficient systems. And with so much on my plate, it helps knowing I can trust one partner for everything my water touches. Hey, Culligan.
Schedule your free in-home water test at Culligan.com.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big.
Get personal seedless watermelon, cantaloupe, or honeydew 2 for $5 with your card. Kroger. Fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBM NewsRadio.com.
9:03 Tuesday morning. Good to have you joining us. I'm Cisco Cotto. The rain just about completely out of here, and we'll get some sunshine, though AccuWeather says there is a chance for a little more rain later in the day. High of 75 degrees. We're at 67 at O'Hare, 67 downtown. We'll tell you all about the rest of the week in your 5-day forecast coming up from AccuWeather at 9:15. Our top local story on WBBM. One man is dead and another critically wounded in 2 shootings last night, one by police. This happened on the north side. WBBM's Nancy Hardy reports from Uptown.
The police department says 2 men got into an argument near Lawrence and Clark before 8:30, and one shot the other multiple times. The 63-year-old victim died at the hospital. Police say officers responding to that saw a man running here at Clark and Argyle. Kristen Crute was out walking with her husband and their dog when they heard the initial gunshots and then hid when they saw police chasing the suspect.
As soon as we hid behind the car, we heard anywhere from 8 to 15 gunshots, because it's like you hear 2 gunshots going at the same. It was just a lot. And honestly, in that moment, we were thinking, okay, maybe that's the end of it. We didn't know.
Police say the man turned his gun toward them and the officers fired. He went to the hospital initially in critical condition. Investigators recovered a gun. COPA is investigating, and only a few pieces of police tape remain a sign of what happened here in this busy neighborhood. In Uptown, Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A person of interest is reportedly in custody in connection with a burning cross that was found in Grant Park last week. The cross was found near Columbus and Balbo in the middle of the afternoon. After the incident, Chicago police released images of a person of interest seen allegedly fleeing the area. Officials have not provided any other details. After decades of serving families in Evergreen Park, a Catholic elementary school has announced it is not going to reopen next year.
Queen of Martyrs School will close this fall after the Archdiocese of Chicago says the school faces declining enrollment, making it difficult to sustain operations for another year. Enrollment was expected to drop to about 140 students for the upcoming school year, down from 178 this past school year and more than 325 students in 2016, according to the Archdiocese. The school says it is committed to helping families identify nearby schools and assisting with the transition as much as possible. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Half of the people who voted in Cook County this past March cast their ballots before primary day. Overall, turnout was 23%. Edmund Michalowski with the Cook County Clerk's Office says Evanston, Oak Park, and River Forest townships had the highest turnout.
When we see very competitive primary areas like we saw this last time for Congress in several areas in suburban Cook, the numbers certainly went up in those places. But when there isn't a challenge to a gubernatorial primary, the numbers are a little flatter at those times.
Mail-in ballots increased by more than 41% compared to the primary for governor 4 years ago. A former grocery store in Lincoln Park may be getting a major makeover thanks to a local university.
DePaul University leaders say they plan to open a brand new student welcome center at the corner of Fullerton and Sheffield, space that was once a Whole Foods grocery store. It closed in 2022. A year later, officials suggested using the building for the university's engineering program, but scrapped that. Now, a proposal calls for meeting rooms, event space, and interactive displays on the first 2 floors of the 6-story site. Block Club Chicago reports the state's Independent Colleges Capital Investment Grant Program would help pay for the project, and if approved, work could begin next summer. Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The James Beard Awards held in Chicago last night. Only one local restaurant took home a prize. Chef Jake Potashnik won the award for Best Chef Great Lakes. The 33-year-old owns Feld in Ukrainian Village. It focuses on fresh produce from the Midwest, a tasting menu that changes nightly. Feld opened in 2024, earned its first Michelin star last year. Chicago will be home to North America's largest robotics and automation show next week. It's happening at McCormick Place. Jeff Bernstein is with the Association for Advancing Automation.
So some of them walk on 2 legs like people, which makes them able to work in human environments. Others are on a mobile base and they have 2 arms and sort of I'll call it a torso that looks more like a human. It's a relatively new technology, but they're able to move totes around in warehouses and hopefully able to do things in an automobile factory to help assemble cars.
Automate 2026 will be held next Monday through Thursday. 9:08, traffic and weather together on the 8th, sponsored by Jewel Osco. We also need to look at the rails. Here's Brian Peck.
Yeah, the Milwaukee District North trains are halted near Union Station. This is a struck pedestrian is the reason behind this. Milwaukee District West trains in North Central service. Trains also stopped near Union Station because of this incident. As soon as we find out more, when trains move again, we'll let you know. Elsewhere on the Edens, your 15 minutes coming in from Lake Cook. Outbound still a little heavy in spots. Peterson to Willow, midday road work on the right shoulder. 22 minutes out to Lake Cook. The Kennedy, 31 minutes coming in from O'Hare to downtown. 25 minutes in from the Edens Junction. 15-minute trip out to Montrose. 29 minutes out to O'Hare. I-190 eastbound, westbound at the airport looks pretty good. The Eisenhower, heavy spots from Central to the Jane Byrne interchange. 48 minutes coming in from the Jane Addams. You're 30 minutes in from Manheim. 22 minutes going back out to Manheim. 40 minutes out to the Jane Addams. The Stevenson, heavy from Harlem to the Dan Ryan. 40 minutes coming in from I-355. 30 minutes in from the Tri-State. 20-minute trip out to the Tri-State. On the Dan Ryan, 22 minutes in from the merge. Couple minutes slower in the Express. Stay in the locals. 22 going back out to the split. I-57 looks good. The Bishop Ford, 16 minutes coming in. You're 13 going back out. Route 394, no major issues. DuSable Lakeshore Drive looking pretty good now. Just a couple of slowdowns through Grant Park. On the Tri-State Tollway, nothing too serious. Jane Addams, the rest of the tollways looking pretty good. Route 53 still slow through the work zone in both directions. I-80 is doing okay. And Northwest Indiana, you're traveling well. Next traffic coming up at 9:18 from the Metro Traffic Center. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Still a little rain in some of the far south suburbs, but for the most part, it is out of here, and we'll all get some sunshine, a high of 75 degrees. We're at 67 right now at O'Hare and Midway, 65 in Joliet, downtown along the lakefront, 67 degrees, heading to that sunny high of 75 degrees. We'll give you more details on the rest of the week in your 5-day forecast coming up from AccuWeather. weather just 5 minutes away at 9:15. On the markets, the Dow up 336 points. The NASDAQ is up 90 and the S&P up 7 points. Just ahead, felony charges for a man accused of beating someone along the road in the northwest suburbs. We'll tell you about that and more news in just 60 seconds.
Find your next adventure with a brand new Kia from King's Kia. Right now during the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, get 1.9% APR financing for 48 months on the new 2026 Kia Seltos. Visit kingskia.com today. 1.9% APR financing for 48 months at $21.65 per month per 1,000 financed on new 2026 Kia Seltos models. Not all buyers will qualify for Kia Finance America. Offer ends 7/6. See dealer for full details.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Proactive Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. At Proactive Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 531-866-4886. 531-866-4886. Take control of your sex life. 531-866-4886.
Felony charges for the alleged beating of a motorist on a road in Crystal Lake.
The charges against 31-year-old Julio Salas of Sleepy Hollow, Illinois, include aggravated battery, deadly weapon, and mob action. McHenry County prosecutors say on June 13th, Salas and 15 to 20 other motorcyclists forced a driver to pull over his vehicle on Illinois Route 31. Salas then struck the driver in his face and head many times. This week, a judge granted the state's petition to deny pretrial release for Salas. Roger Plummer, News Radio, 105.9 WBBM.
A dramatic dog rescue happened in the northwest suburbs.
It happened around 6 a.m. The McHenry Township Fire Protection District was called by the Lakemore Police Department to assist a 12-year-old husky named Bandit who had been trapped deep in a marsh near Bay Oaks Drive in O'Shea Court. Fire officials say Bandit was stranded several hundred feet into the marsh. A drone was launched to locate the dog and guide rescuers to his position. Firefighters used a flat-bottom rescue boat to reach Bandit and get him safely back to shore. The fire district says the drone was critical to the successful rescue, helping locate Bandit, direct crews, and improve responder safety throughout the operation. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We have your AccuWeather 5-day forecast and all the latest in sports just ahead.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Branstetter, and for 27 years, my family has been helping Cincinnati homeowners protect what matters most. At Branstetter's Kanga Roof, we know your home is more than just a roof. It's where memories are made. That's why we deliver expert roofing, siding, gutters, and windows with honesty and integrity. With 3 generations of experience, we take pride in serving our community with faith, family, and excellence. Let us take care of your home. Schedule your free estimate today at gokanga.net. We up to it.
Brandstetter's Kanga Roof.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Start saving this summer at AE Door and Window. All through June, save up to 15% off Provia entry doors and sliders, as well as select Clopay garage doors. Save up to 20% off windows by Pella and Provia. Combine and save for another 5% off your total order and get up to $100 off a next generation LiftMaster opener. All with 0 down, 0 interest for 2 years. Learn more at aeDoorsales.com.
We sell the best and service the rest. AE.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards payback and unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with MGM Northfield Park.
You know that voice. The one that says, not today, next week. It's probably nothing. It's very convincing, reasonable, calm, always has a plan that involves doing this later, much later. And then there's the other voice, quieter, harder to hear. The one that says, just take care of it. That's the one to listen to. Because when you show up for yourself, you break through. Confidence Unleashed. Find a dentist near you at smilegeneration.com/confidence.
9:15 AccuWeather 5-day forecast sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Sewer, and Electric. Here's meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
A couple of showers, even some rumbles of thunder passing south of the city at this hour. These will be off to our south and east here within the hour or so. Look for some intervals of sunshine through the midday and afternoon hours with a stray afternoon thunderstorm. Our high temperature gets to 75. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 57. Tomorrow, a cloudy, breezy, cool day. We'll have periods of rain and a couple of heavier thunderstorms, particularly from late morning on into tomorrow evening. Those thunderstorms can produce flash flooding, hail, and damaging wind gusts. There's a risk for tornadoes, especially to the south of Chicago. Tomorrow's high only 68. Thursday will be a better day with more clouds and sun, a cool breeze and just a shower, the high 72. The best day, Friday, with sunshine, the high 75. Clouds and sun Saturday, there could be an afternoon shower, the high 78. 67 degrees, a common number right now in Schaumburg, at O'Hare, at Midway, even at the lakefront. Humidity at 54%, of wind out of the south at 10, gusting to 25. The barometer, 29.66 inches and falling. We're going up to 75 this afternoon. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Checking the roads in about 90 seconds. Also the rails, problems on the Milwaukee District North Line. 9:16 when searching for a low interest rate on a new vehicle. Search Heritage Cadillac of Lombard. Now sports. Here's Josh Liss.
Tiago Splitter puts on a Bulls shirt for the first time, confirmed as the new head coach of the team. He'll be introduced formally at a news conference tomorrow afternoon. Splitter, who's been interim head coach in Portland, highly coveted after steering the Blazers to the postseason. They made it as the number 7 seed at 42-40, and interestingly enough, gave the Bulls the number 15 pick in the draft by finally triggering a clause from a trade 5 years ago. In a statement, Splitter says the Bulls represent everything I love about this game, carrying a proud tradition, a passionate city, and a young, hungry group of players ready to go. Crunch time at Wrigley Field. The Cubs are trying to come back to swat away the Rockies.
And the crowd going wild here at Wrigley Field. There's nowhere to put Matt Shaw. Game on the line. Here's the 3-1. Way outside. Ball 4. Cubs walk it off again.
9th walk-off win of the season with 2 in the 9th, including the Matt Shaw bases-loaded walk. Pete Armstrong became the 13th Cub ever to hit for the cycle in the game. A 5-4 Cubs win. You heard it on 104.3 The Score, and the Cubs are back with Edward Cabrera pitching to the Rockies in town tonight. College Baseball World Series saw a player hit for the cycle. Shortstop Adrian Rodriguez of Texas, just the 3rd to do it. The White Sox have Davis Martin ready to go in New York tonight against the Yankees and ace Garrett Cole. The Williams sisters are going to play together at Wimbledon. First doubles matches together since the 2022 U.S. Open. Josh Liss, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
9:18 traffic and weather together on the 8th. Sponsored by Synergenics and Low T Center. Here's Brian Peck.
Well, the Metro trains are back on the move again. The Milwaukee District North trains that were halted near Union Station. This was due to a struck pedestrian. Also, the Milwaukee District West trains and the North Central service trains, they were stopped near Union Station. They are all back on the move, of course, with significant delays. So expect delays on all those Metra trains. On the Edens, inbound, you're looking at 15 minutes. Lake Cook to the Kennedy Junction, 21 minutes going back out. The Kennedy improving, 29 minutes in from O'Hare, 23 in from the Edens Junction. You're 16 minutes going out to Montrose, 29 out to O'Hare. By the way, inbound on the express lanes, you'll pick up about 2 minutes, so definitely use them. I-190 eastbound, westbound looks pretty good on the Eisenhower. 45 coming in from the Jane Addams, 27 in from Manheim, 21 back out to Manheim, 39 out to the Jane Addams. The Stevenson, your 40-minute trip in from I-355, 30 in from the Tri-State, 20 minutes out to the Tri-State. The Dan Ryan, 22 minutes in from the Merge, couple minutes slower in the Express, 12 minutes out to the Split. I-57's moving well in both directions. The Bishop Ford, a little slow. Stony Island to the Dan Ryan, 16 minutes coming in, 13 going back out. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, a little slow through Grant Park. That's it. Tri-State, the tollways, Nothing out of the ordinary. Route 53 still a little heavy through the work zone in both directions. I-80 looks okay. Northwest Indiana in pretty good shape. Traffic sponsored by Synergen X and Low T Center. Did you know that 1 in 4 men over 40 have low testosterone, but 100% of them can get their testosterone levels back? Low T Center tailors TRT to every man, and they even take insurance. Head to fixmylowt.com and book your free testosterone test. Next traffic coming up at 9:28. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We have some sunshine in Chicagoland, still clouds hanging around in some areas, but we're all going to get some sun as we have a high of 75 degrees. We're at 67 at O'Hare and Midway, 67 downtown. Wall Street, the Dow is up 398, the NASDAQ down 28, and the S&P is down 3 points at 920. Our top story this hour, a suspect in a deadly Northside shooting was shot and critically injured by Chicago police last night. CPD says the man fled from officers on foot before turning and pointing a gun in their direction. We'll have much more on this story coming up at 9:31. It's 9:21.
A high-fiber diet does more than aid digestion. It may also help lower the risk of colon cancer. Adding more fiber-rich foods to your meals can improve gut health and overall wellness. I'm Dr. Tamaja Jordan from Loyola Medicine with Healthy Eating. Fiber plays a crucial role in keeping the digestive system healthy by promoting regular bowel movements and feeding beneficial gut bacteria. Whole grains, legumes, fruits, and vegetables are excellent sources of fiber, which help remove waste and potential carcinogens from the colon. Diets high in fiber are linked to a lower risk of colon cancer. Soluble fiber, found in foods like oats and beans, supports healthy cholesterol levels, while insoluble fiber, found in wheat bran and vegetables, helps prevent constipation. For more information, go to loyolamedicine.org/blog. I'm Dr. Tamaja Jordan for News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
We have business news from Bloomberg coming up next. We'll get a look at these markets as trading is mixed, but SpaceX is soaring. We'll bring you the update in just 60 seconds.
An undisturbed sleep is a beautiful thing. That's why a Beauty Rest mattress is designed to give you unparalleled motion separation. Isolating movement with our pocketed coil technology to help you sleep soundly no matter what's moving on the other side of the bed, while providing individualized support for every sleeping position. People at their best get their beauty rest for 100 years.
The 2026 Lincoln Aviator SUV turns a robust list of features into a world of premium experiences. Excite your drive with impressive horsepower and torque. Customize your comfort with available perfect position seats featuring 30 configurations. Make room for 2 more passengers with powerful third-row seats that can fold flat with the touch of a button. And immerse yourself in the finest expression of design and services with available elevated packages. Experience it for yourself by visiting your local Lincoln retailer.
9:23 business news sponsored by the Village of Bedford Park at Bloomberg. Here's Gina Cervetti.
Cisco stocks are mixed at the moment. The Dow is pushing further past its record yesterday. It's up 357 points at 52,028, but the S&P 500 is down 10, about 0.1% at 7544. The NASDAQ lower by 84, about 0.33% at 26,594. SpaceX shares are jumping again today, putting the firm on track to overtake both Amazon and Microsoft to become the 4th largest publicly traded company in the world, just days after its blockbuster debut. More job cuts at BlackRock. Sources tell Bloomberg the world's largest asset manager is eliminating just under 1% of its workforce, amounting to about 200 employees. That's after the firm trimmed headcount 3 times over the past 18 months. Bloomberg has learned that the latest cuts span roles as diverse as investment, operations, and tech. It also includes jobs from the firm's private financing arm. With business at 23 and 53 and in the noon business hour, live from Bloomberg, Gina Cervetti, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Traffic and weather together on the 8s. Just ahead, it's 9:25.
Find your next adventure with a brand new Kia from King's Kia. Right now during the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, get 1.9% APR financing for 48 months on the new 2026 Kia Seltos. Visit kingskia.com today. 1.9% APR financing for 48 months at $21.65 per month per 1,000 financed on new 2026 Kia Seltos models. Not all buyers will qualify for Kia Finance America. Offer ends 7/6. See dealer for full details.
Welcome back to Yeah, That's a Pepper Thing. First up, we've got Harrison wrapping his Dr. Pepper in a tiny quilt so it feels at home. Oh, how tender. That's a Pepper Thing! And over to Becca, who's whispering affirmations to her can.
You're sweet. You're unique. You're the best thing I ever poured over ice.
She swears it makes it taste better. It's not a science thing, but it's a pepper thing! Why do they all do it? All for that sweet, delicious, truly one-of-a-kind taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a Pepper Thing!
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Proactive Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. At Proactive Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 531-866-4886. 531-866-4886. Take control of your sex life. 531-866-4886.
Your employees are the backbone of your business, but traditional health insurance isn't always affordable for small companies. When workers don't have access to health care, illnesses go untreated, shifts get missed, and turnover can increase. The Care Savings Pass from Care First Urgent Care offers a practical solution. For one low monthly cost, your employees can get access to low-cost urgent care visits and everyday medical treatment at Care First Urgent Care locations. Help your employees receive health care and stay healthy. Learn more at employers.caresavingspass.com.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win, like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
You know that voice. The one that says, not today, next week. It's probably nothing. It's very convincing, reasonable, calm, always has a plan that involves doing this later, much later. And then there's the other voice. Quieter, harder to hear. The one that says, just take care of it. That's the one you want to listen to. Because when you show up for yourself, you break through. Confidence Unleashed. Find a dentist near you at smilegeneration.com/confidence.
9:28 traffic and weather together on the 8th. Sponsored by Jewel Osco. Here's Brian Peck.
Got some big metro delays this morning. Milwaukee District North trains running with significant delays after being stopped near Union Station after a pedestrian was struck, but they are back on the move again. 15 minutes inbound on the Edens. You're 22 minutes going back out on the Kennedy. You're heavy from Addison to the Hubbard Street Tunnel. Although times are improving, 28 minutes from O'Hare into downtown, 22 minutes in from the Edens Junction. You're actually a couple minutes faster in the express lanes. 15 minutes going out to Montrose, 27 out to O'Hare. On I-190 eastbound, westbound, looking good at the airport. The Eisenhower, 44 in from the Jane Addams, 26 in from Manheim, 20 minutes out to Manheim. You are on the Stevenson, 38 minutes, I-355 to DuSable Lakeshore Drive, 28 in from the Tri-State, 20 minutes going back out. The Dan Ryan's 22 in, 12 minutes out, I-57 looking good. The Bishop Ford just 15 minutes going in, you're 13 minutes going back out. Route 394 is in good shape, and DuSable Lakeshore Drive, the Tri-State, the tollways, doing okay. Next traffic, 9:38, News Radio, 105.9 WBBM.
We have sunshine. There are some clouds lingering, but we'll all get some sun today now that the rain is just about completely out of here. Still some lingering in the south suburbs. Headed to a high of 75 degrees. We are at 67 at O'Hare and Midway, also 67 downtown. All your top stories less than 60 seconds away.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus and present in Ohio. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards payback and unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with MGM Northfield Park.
When you finally find your thing, you want the whole world to know about that thing. So you use a thing called Canva to make it an even bigger and better thing. Whether you want to create flyers for that thing, make presentations for that thing, or design merch for that thing, you can do anything. So people can see your thing, feel your thing, love your thing. The next thing you know, it's a thing. Canva, the thing that makes anything a thing.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBM NewsRadio.com.
9:30 Tuesday morning. Good to have you along with us. I'm Cisco Cotto. These are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. Chicago police say officers shot a suspect who allegedly shot and killed another man on the north side. A federal appeals court has wiped away convictions of 2 ComEd 4 members, but gives prosecutors the go-ahead to try them again. President Trump is criticizing recent Israeli strikes in Beirut, which could threaten the U.S. deal with Iran. And arrests have reportedly been made in an alleged plot to attack the UFC event at the White House. WBBM Business, the Dow up 310 points, the NASDAQ down 116, the S&P is down 17 points. We have a mix of sun and clouds, still a little rain remaining in the south suburbs. High of 75 degrees. We are at 67 at O'Hare, Midway, and downtown at 9:31. 2 related shootings on the north side last night have left a man dead and another hospitalized in critical condition. Around 8:30, an argument on the 1400 block of West Argyle escalated to gunfire that killed a 63-year-old man. CPD officers tracked down the suspect and shot him after a foot chase. No word yet on the identity of the suspect or the man killed. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability is investigating. Police are working to track down the person believed responsible for shooting 2 people in Joliet yesterday afternoon.
Police say there was a verbal altercation outside the Riverwalk Homes apartments on the 300 block of North Broadway at about 4 p.m. A man shot another man and a woman. She has a gunshot wound to the groin. He was shot in the right arm. Both are 27. Their injuries are not life-threatening, police say. The shooter fled in a car after an encounter with a security guard who also fired his weapon. Nobody else was injured. The car was located. A residence was searched. The man has not been found. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
2 months after a federal appellate court ordered the former CEO of ComEd and a lobbyist released from prison, the panel is now saying it's up to the feds whether they are retried.
The 16-page final opinion from the 7th Circuit officially vacated the convictions of former ComEd CEO Ann Premajori and lobbyist Michael McLean, but said federal prosecutors had presented significant and compelling evidence. They were convicted in a scheme to influence ex-Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan for favorable legislation. The judges rejected requests that they be acquitted outright, writing they are not suggesting Premajori and McLean are innocent, only that their convictions were flawed and that they have the right to see their sentences vacated. The decision was necessary after recent rulings by the U.S. Supreme Court limiting the use of federal statutes on bribery and making false statements. WBBM has reached out to the U.S. Attorney's Office for comment. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
President Trump is urging Israel's prime minister to show more restraint in Lebanon. The president thinks it could threaten the U.S. peace deal with Iran.
President Trump said the U.S.-Iran deal can survive even if Israel continues attacking Lebanon. But the president criticized Israel for its recent strikes in Beirut, telling reporters he thinks it went too far.
Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long, and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody. because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses, and they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you.
Karen Travers, ABC News, Geneva, Switzerland.
ABC News has learned of a foiled plot to attack the UFC matches over the weekend on the White House lawn. ABC's Pierre Thomas.
Sources telling ABC News that on Monday, 5 people were detained in connection with the alleged plot, with as many as 23 people allegedly involved. According to sources, suspects allegedly plan to use explosive-laden drones, which would be designed to hit buildings to spur a mass evacuation.
Charges are expected to be announced later today. 8 people are dead in the crash of a B-52 bomber at Edwards Air Force Base in California. ABC's Trevor Ault.
Officials say the B-52 Stratofortress was supporting a test for a radar modernization program. Officials say those on board were a mixed crew of military and civilians supporting the test mission. Boeing confirms 2 of those on board were their employees, adding, quote, "We are in contact with their families and are offering support."
The aircraft went down around 11:15 in the morning local time at the military facility north of Los Angeles. We have the latest traffic and weather together on the 8s coming up next. Also the rail, some problems on Metro this morning.
And now, the next chapter of the Serta Counting Sheep.
Hey, Uncle Number One, why aren't we counting anymore?
Let me tell you a story. Long ago, Serta invented the perfect sleeper mattress.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. It says the all-new Serta Perfect Sleeper with the Q4 support system has 4-in-1 perfectly interlinked coils that help relieve aches and back pain for perfect sleep night after night.
We'll never get counted again.
Nope.
Serta, we make the world's best mattress.
The 2026 Lincoln Aviator SUV